Hello everyone, this is Spartan Assassins here, and today we are going to look at a new faction, which is Huang Zu for Turning the Tide mod. And as you can see here, he is actually the vassal faction for Liu Biao. And we'll go into the game and have a look at what does Huang Zu offer. So the plan for today was to do Xu He, but since the yellow turbans are actually not that complete yet, as we are expecting more and more updates for yellow turban as a whole, but we'll just go for Huang Zu first, and I'll see you all in the game then. Alright, so we're in game. Let me clear. Okay, so first off we'll look at our starting position, and if you look carefully, you start off with the entire commandery of Jiangxia. And unique building wise, I don't think so Huang Zu has unique buildings. Yeah, they don't have. So you have to build the entire commandery the normal way. For your start pose, here's the thing. You start off as a vassal of Liu Biao. Sorry. And on your west you have Huarong, which is the non-livestock farm of Huarong, which is under Liu Bei. So he's actually not your enemy yet, but you have one enemy, which is Cao Ren on your north. Lei Xu is actually quite strong early on. Yeah, actually Lei Xu is actually quite a strong faction in the beginning of the game, but we are expecting to see a change in Cao Ren's stack, as we have actually noticed in multiple campaigns that Cao Ren won't take out Lei Xu on turn 2. So if you want to expand north, you can't actually expand into Runan. But here's the issue. Look at Changsha, look at Poyang and Lujiang. These are all Sun Quan's territory and Zhou Yu's territory. You are actually at war with Sun Quan and Zhou Yu, if I'm not mistaken. No. So you're at war with Sun Quan, Cao Ren and Zhou Yu. Now, where should you expand? It depends on you actually. You want to go after Runan? Up to you. You want to go after Changsha? Up to you. You want to Lujiang? Absolutely sure, go ahead. It is always up to you, because if you look at your east, you have Hefei, the city under Zhang Liao, and Sun Quan early on is a force to be reckoned. He has quite a few amount of good stacks. Actually, they are actually all nearly can be considered as doom stacks, so you have to be careful where you want to invade, especially if you want to invade into Lujiang. Yeah, which makes Zhou Yu your primary target. If you actually manage to defeat him, you might have a foothold in the southern region of the Yangtze, the Changjiang River, and from there you can actually invade Sun Pen, who is still neutral but not in a war with you yet. But eventually you will have to fight with Sun Quan, because he is at war with you at the beginning of the game. That's all for your start position. We will have a look at our characters. So characters wise, you have your faction leader Huang Zu and your general, which is Gan Ning. These two are actually quite good. I can say they are actually quite a good uniques in the game. If let's say you have an MTU on, of course you can get MTU art, but if you don't have, I would suggest you to go get it. Next up, you have Liu Qi, Zhang Yun, Su Fei, Chen Jiu, Yo San Huang She, Lu Gong, Xie Yingxiu, and Huang Anbao. So these are your notable characters when you start in game. So yeah, you have 600 salary decrease per turn, cause you got around how many? Around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe. These 6 are not your relative, so we have to check our family tree for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, these 6. And for your faction council, there's nothing much of a change. Nothing. No new addition. What else? Yeah, faction mechanic. For Huang Zu, he actually has a new faction mechanic which is introduced in the mod named Subservience. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 phases. Phase 1 is Parasite, Phase 2 is Frog, Phase 3 is Rat, Phase 4 is Snake, Phase 5 is Fox, and the last one is Owl. So each phase have their own debuffs. Of course, once you reach the Snake phase, you can get better buffs, but if you were at Rat and below to Parasite, you actually don't get much of a buffs. Alright, so I believe there's nothing about the so this is the latest addition for Huang Zu, which is the renewed ambush stance for Huang Zu. As you can see here, if you were to go ambush mode, you actually get 5 subservience per turn, and here you have 50 decay. So if you were to do plus 5 per turn, you keep ambushing your way, you will always get a plus 5, so negative 45. And you also get better recruitment and replenishment, that is of course is there, and you have stock plus 50% ammunition for range units. So this is actually quite a good stance for you to use early on as well as mid game and late game. I would say do make use of your ambush stance. This is actually quite a good stance that you can use. Not to mention you are playing as Huang Zu, who is famous for killing Sun Jian in an ambush. So make use of him. Do the ambusher stuffs. And apart from that, he is actually using the ambush attack stance from Zhang Yan. And if you actually play the base game, the vanilla game, when Zhang Yan starts in Yanmen, you will notice that when you attack the NPC Han General there, you will trigger the ambush. So same goes to Huang Zu. If he were to be at war with anyone and you actually attack your enemy with Huang Zu or any of your troops, you might get the chance to trigger an ambush battle. So this is actually beneficial for you if you actually love ambush battles, but if you don't, then I'm not sure if Huang Zu is a good faction for you to play with. But overall, you can always enjoy his gameplay, as he starts off with quite a nice general, to be fair. Like, you don't get gunning at level 6 and you can he does have hail of arrows 4 times, and put this, you actually get a better version of a gunning. As for Huang Zu, he has a Binding Fury, the Force Retreat, and Tiger Suppression. So this is a MTU modded skill tree. It's alright, we can simply put what we want. Now what's next? We have seen our start pose, we have seen our dilemma, we have seen our faction mechanics, as well as our notable characters. I believe next up we'll be going to look at our unique units. So unique units, you have infantry of Jing. This I don't think so I need to introduce, as most of you have already seen them in Liu Biao. Yeah, so he inherited Liu Biao's infantry of Jing. As for archers of Jing, I'm not sure, maybe he might inherit it, but up to the modder. And next we have our Imperial Defenders. I think this is also from Liu Biao or from Sima Lang or Sima Liang. I'm not sure. We will have to look at the very next turn for these unique units. So let us go to our next turn then. Alright, so we are in turn 2. And now we'll be looking at our faction units, and to make sure that I got everything covered, I'll just summon a strategist level 5 to check and see. Archer, let me try and do some cheatings. Rank up. This is going to be 10, and we are going to make sure that Huang Zu rank up, and the next one will be Zhang Yun. Alright. Alright. So first of all is for Cai Mao. No, not Cai Mao. Huang Zu. We have our infantry of Jing. It is a bit expensive than, say, your spear guards, but if you actually want a better spear guard, I think your best choice is of course infantry of Jing. And next up we have our Imperial Defenders. So yeah, if you actually look at the stats, I think Imperial Defenders are better than heavy spear guards. It is up to you to decide who you want to get. Actually, it is up to you. You can go expensive, you can go cheap, it is up to you. Next up, do we have any other stuff? None. So yeah, basically there's just 2 spear guards which are available for Huang Zu as unique units, but it's alright. It's actually fine actually to even start off less, because as you may see, alpha version 5.0.52, a lot start to have changed in the release, and I expect Huang Zu to have extra few more unique units. And there's also Jing Xue, which I'm not sure he has a new unique mechanics, faction mechanics and stuff, but when he does, we will be covering them. And yeah, for Xu He, I will not be covering him because he's just a Yellow Turban unique rebellion which haven't been updated to the latest. I would say he's been one of the few bullies faction. Yeah. And another faction that I won't be covering is the Lei Xu. So he'll be getting a renewed faction mechanics and stuff. So we'll cover that once he gets all the new stuff, as well as the Sun clan and his gang, the Sun and the gang. He'll get a new faction mechanic and stuff, which is kinda we're actually torturing Sun Quan as a whole. And we have Zhou Yu and Sun Pen, which we'll be covering once they had their own faction mechanic. And I think for the Shi Xie and his vassals and stuff, we might cover him, but when they all also have their own faction mechanics, then I might cover them later. But overall, that is actually all for Huang Zu, and I'll hopefully see you in the next version of the Chibi mod. And that's all from me. Thank you. Bye.